Good evening and welcome to a Mitchin and Mocking about the card short hop. We are joined with our special guest tonight, Fluffy Roo. I'm Mitchell, and as always, I am joined by the mouth of the West, Tyrell Mock, who surprisingly enough in 2005 was the Cleveland Browns' eighth round draft pick. Tyrell, sorry it didn't work out in Cleveland, but glad you're here with us.
Hasn't worked out in Cleveland for a lot of draft picks, to be honest with you.
No. We are currently on the Cowboys pick is in. We're in pick 11. Draft's moving quick tonight. We're at 8 o'clock St. Louis time and already 11 picks in. The Chiefs have made their selection with the trade. More on that in a minute. But talking about 2 out of 3 losses in Miami. Not the way I saw the series going. The only win, Dustin May, who's looked good his last 2 times out now. Wow, what's your kind of quick thought on the Miami series?
I think Miami's a better team than they get credit for. And we are a young team. They're going to have ups and downs and get beat a lot and win a lot of games too. So I think I didn't expect it going in there with a 5 game winning streak. I thought they would probably end up taking the series, but didn't happen. So we just move on to the next one day by day. Let's go.
The Wednesday lineup was atrocious. It was the definition of the getaway lineup. I kind of glanced through it. Nobody hitting over 230. If you're sitting Herrera and Burley, you're not going to win. And Walker, like it just is not going to be a thing. I don't understand the logic of sitting guys in April, especially with the day off.
Yeah, I understand like they're trying to keep them fresh and everything for the long season, but like it's a little early to be doing that, especially. But I guess you can kind of understand it with the upcoming road or schedule that they have upcoming, which that's a foreshadowing there.
Yeah, the schedule coming up, I get, but it just makes no sense. You got to win games like this against another team that's kind of like yourselves in the Marlins. You at least got to win the series, and going into that game, you were 1-1. Palati was going to need all the help he could get, and it just did not, manifest that day for the Cardinals. A kind of a getaway day loss, but like you said, you kind of just flip the script. You move on to the next one. But we have some breaking news before we went on today. Tyrell Taiwan or Tajon Walker was released by the Phillies today. They still owe him a ton of money. A veteran arm. His ERA is at over 9. It's 9.15 right now in 4 starts. If the Cardinals were to sign him, it would just be for the big league minimum. You need somebody to cover some innings with the pitching depth. Is he worth $1 million flyer?
Yeah, absolutely, he's worth $1 million flyer. I thought Lucas Giolito was worth $1 million flyer, and they should have went and forgot him. And if he pitched good, you trade him. So I think the same thing here. He's worth a little bit. I mean, what's wrong with even if he's a pitches crappy, you just release him. Everybody was worth a little bit. Like you have an innings problem right now that you're going to have to get to, which has been going on for a long time with the Cardinals having these innings that need to be filled. If early on with the stretch we're getting ready to go on, so you can save your young guys for a little bit longer. Yes, he's worth a flyer to me.
Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah, you have to free up a spot on the 40 man, but that's schematics. That's easy. That's just paperwork. Why not? Why not throw a guy out there who can at least give you maybe 10 starts? I mean, the velocity's down, but now with no injured, you got an injured Dick Fitz. You've got guys coming back off the IL and Dobson. Like, why not? Why
Yeah,
not
why
make
not?
move? It reeks of desperation, but somebody's got to cover those innings because Palante doesn't look like it, and Leahy does not either. Excuse me, Leahy's the one who threw Wednesday. He'd be a great bullpen piece. You're looking at trying to piece together that 7th, 8th inning to get to Riley O'Brien. Leahy could probably be that guy and at least give you 2.
Yeah, they've got to do something to help out with that because I mean that bullpen is just falling apart around them. They're going to need to do something. I think why not? Why not do something like get Walker up because your depth's not there for your pitchers. Hinks, like you said last, got roughed up. Like it just they're not ready yet. So you need a veteran in there. God, that's what we were all off season touting Verlander or Scherzer just to get some depth in there to get these guys a little bit of help.
I saw another creator, and forgive me, I forget the name. I want to give them credit, but they had this theory. Why not piggyback Palante and Leahy together?
Good idea.
Es- Especially with that 13th arm in the pin. Then you could use Dobbins in a starting spot. Why not go ahead and try the piggyback? You do it in spring training all the time, but why not your every 5th day, you're going to give you the bullpen the day off essentially, and hell or high water, Leahy, you got 4, Palante, you got 4, and we'll figure it out no matter what the result.
Yeah, and especially an organization that needs to kind of think outside the box right now to make up runs and how they're going to go moving forward. So I think it's a hell of a good idea, honestly.
It's a good idea, so they won't do it
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
and you don't do unconventional things. Tyrell, happy anniversary to Fernando Tatis Sr. On this day in 1999 against the Dodgers, 2 grand slams in the same inning.
Chano Park.
Chano Park, that was gonna be the
Yes.
trivia question. Who was it against? The surprising thing about that, yeah, it'll never be done again, but the fact that Chano Park served them both up.
Who was actually a pretty good pitcher at that time. Like he had been dominant. Like that the Asian baseball player really started to become more popular in the '90s into until where they're at right now. So yeah, Park came over pretty touted. Yeah, that was insane to watch and hear somebody hitting two grannies in a
All over
one inning.
YouTube, highly recommend looking it up, it's pretty cool, especially because you get Buck and Shannon on the call.
Yeah, and dude, Tatis had power. He could crush the bat. And he swung from his heels like Vladimir Guerrero does, but he had some power too.
And he begged the Cardinals 3 times to sign his son, and he worked him out 3 times, and Mo would never sign him.
That's a loss. Now, is it? I mean, Fernando Tatis Jr. or he's good. I don't know. He's worth the money that the Padres are paying him currently, but I mean, he was the face of baseball for a year right there and was really highly touted coming out. Yeah, they lose out on that stuff, man. They do a lot of it.
Kind of a guy who definitely has fallen off, since, but still, probably a top 50 current MLB guy, if not a top 25.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, versatile in what he can do. Shortstop and center field, good base stealer. So yeah, and he's got that swag, and I actually like Tatis Jr.
Another what if. But speaking of Tatis Sr. and his 2 grand slams, what other record will never be broken in a single game? Not a season record, but a single game record.
The strikeout. I don't think you're going to
The
get more
20,
the 20. I don't think you're going to get more than that.
no one's going to throw that many pitches to do that.
Yep, yep. That's gone way the dodo now. Season or game. What else could be? Hmm. I don't know. That's the only one that comes to mind really off the top of my head for a game.
I had to look it up because I wasn't prepared because I didn't know you were going to go 20 strikeouts. Kerry Wood threw 122 pitches on that start 98.
And
84 strikes, 1 hit ball in the 2, and it was a 2-0 shutout win.
yeah, it was and he had that curveball working, and some of those were. And now that you have ABS, I think they would probably come back. So you could end up having to throw 140 pitches for that strikeout. But uh, there was some generosity to that.
Especially, back in the day, the Maddox rule, essentially, where guy was on, the umpire started giving those corners a whole lot more. And you just stated, that'll never happen again with the ABS, etc. 22 pitches is a lot. And you don't see some guys don't even go to 100 anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about pulling May out the other day because he was at 89 pitches. And I'm like, what are we talking about right here? I mean, Sonny Gray, I mean, who's injured now, wouldn't go. He got about 80, got started getting rocked.
The St. Louis Heat always had Sonny Gray in, is what they would say. Yeah, but I would say that one, was it 6 stolen bases in a game? Is that the record?
I think that's the record.
That'll never be broken again. Guys don't steal third anymore. That's probably one that I think's pretty safe. We've never seen 5 home runs in a game. 4 a couple times, but never.
Yeah. Dude, you got to be so on to hit 5 home runs in a game.
You wouldn't if you hit 4 that 5th at bat, you're getting this. That's
Yeah, yeah. Get out of here. And if the likes of Barry Bonds couldn't do it, like that's gonna be but of course it's gonna be one of your guys that just nobody's name. He's gonna be a nobody, and that's as many record books, and you're never gonna hear him again.
right. That's something like a Mark Whiten would have done. Uh, Somebody like that. Schwarber could possibly do it.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Judge, but that 5th at bat, they're not going to get it.
And it's gonna and honestly, you might have to have a longer game too. Like go into some extra innings to get those at bats because that's the only way I could see it happening.
Yeah, you seldom see even 5 at bats in a game at this point. Ugh. Time for our weekly segment on free James Daniel Crooks II, otherwise known as Jimmy Crooks. Tyrell, since our last broadcast Sunday, 2 more home runs. Crooks currently on the year hitting 288 with 8 home runs, an OPS of 1.80. His main competition, Pedro Pages, hitting a robust 204 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs, an OPS of .565. What's it gonna take to free Jimmy Crooks?
I don't know at this point, man. I mean, I know Bernie said something about it the other day that he doesn't want that it's a knee jerk reaction. No matter what the fans are saying, they need to ride the wave with Pages. But at some point, you know who the player is, and it's getting close to that, and you have to do something. And Crooks was up last year and did a good job last year, so you already know that he can handle big league staff and big league pitching. So what's the holdup here?
When we do our show Sunday night, is Pages hitting below the Mendoza line?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But they don't care anymore, dude. Nobody cares about what batting average. It's not a thing they care about anymore, which is
Well, his
ridiculous to me.
OPS sucks too.
Yeah, 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 it does.
You can hit 220, but if you get on base at a 300 clip, that's fine. He's not even doing that. You could be elite defensively. He's not elite defensively. He's average to below average behind the plate. His frame rate's solid, but his arm is god awful.
Yeah, but again, with frame rate, why do you need that anymore? ABS. You don't need your frame rate anymore. So,
No,
like, yeah, what are we talking about here? Like, you know, you need the offense. You know, Crooks is providing the offense in Memphis. What are we doing?
holding people hostage, much like TikTok has done to this show. More on that in a minute.
Yes.
Tyrell, Seattle's in town this weekend. Donnie on the IL, so he won't get the ovation. Sadly, Seattle's a solid baseball team, a Final Four team last year. Maybe they can sneak a win. Maybe.
I think this is because it's at home. I think they're going to get a win out of this series, but I think it's going to be the Mariners have been playing. I got a Mariners fan that I work with, and he's hum about them right now. Not they says they're not playing their best ball, but that's a sneaky good team, man. I don't know. I think 1 out of 3 will be fine.
They're 11-15. Kirby Friday night. Let me pull back up. You got Kirby Palante, the Saturday afternoon game. Brian Wu against Matthew Liberatore. Brian Wu's a guy I wish they would have got back in that deal. And then the Sunday game, Hancock McGreevy. I think it's 1 out of 3.
Yeah, I think it's 1 out of 3. It might actually be Libby's start that they win. Uh,
Matthew Liberatore start. That'd be a kind of a crown jewel in the weekend. When you look ahead though, Tyrell, out of the next 35 games, and I sent you the schedule, it's a murderer's row. We're really gonna find out kind of what this Cardinal team is. After the Seattle series, you got 4 against Pittsburgh. One of those was against Schemes. Then home against the Dodgers for 3. Milwaukee, at San Diego, at Vegas, Sacramento, Oakland, Kansas City. Then 3 against Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, and the Cubs to round out May. Out of those 35 games, we're gonna know who this club really is. What do you think the record is after those 35 games? I wrote down on our show notes 15-20. So they're probably right at 500 when at the end of May, which is still better than what I expected them to be.
yeah, and also only 3 days off in that whole 35 games, so they're going to be really maxed out on their playing time. I'm going to say 500. I think it'll be 500 baseball.
Okay, okay. Do you think by the end of May we will see Dobbins up to make a spot start?
Yes, I think you will because I think you're going to need that give it a little bit of relief to those guys. Because why would you want to stress them out that much and wear them down that quick? Yeah, I think you'll see Dobbins up and do a spot start real quick. I think you might also see a bullpen game there soon, just to help out.
There's nobody in the
I mean,
there's
I
nobody
guess
in the
what I mean by a
use.
bullpen game is a Memphis game. Sorry.
Maybe when you kind of again pull back the schedule, maybe that day against San Diego or that Kansas City start, those Sundays games where you got the Monday afterwards off, you can kind of get the bullpen an extra day there and kind of reset. It's going to be some rough stretches of baseball though coming up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and you got to set the tone early in these series, man, because you can wear out your bullpen real fast and your starting pitchers real fast if you don't set the tone in the very first game of the series. Because you're gonna have to win those from now on just to keep moving forward. Because you got to win these series. I don't know if they can. I know it's a tough stretch, but you're gonna have to do something to start setting the tone to so you don't wear those people out so quick.
And your starters are going to have to go 6+, something they don't do really well, especially when you got Palante and Leahy. I mean, those are, you said bullpen start. Those are bullpen starts anyway.
They are. I don't. Libby's the only one, and May went good the other night. Uh, Greavy's been, I mean, pitching okay, but I mean, I don't understand. They were talking about it the other night, and my wife asked me the question too of why the bullpen's so important. I was like, because your starters don't throw long anymore.
No, a generation ago, guys were going 7 and felt like failures. You 2 generations ago, our grandparents' generation, Bob Gibson was going 9 every time on 3 days rest. Now we're smart about how we take care of bodies, and there's just so much more, like anything else, more money involved. But guys, I throwing 85 pitches and they're out now, trying to protect them long term, just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, because I mean, it goes back into the reason there's gonna be a lockout. They're leaving those middlemen. They're not paying. All they're trying to do is get value out of these guys, and everybody's coming to the big leagues faster. So just keep the train rolling. Just run them out, wear them out, go. Why wait? Why
Fresh arm
worry?
after
Yeah,
fresh arm after fresh arm.
yeah. Just keep going.
Finally, tonight we're at the NFL draft. I'm kind of starting to see the Rams pick is in. Tyrell, do you watch the draft?
Absolutely. I logged on early so I could watch Pat McAfee, and all he did was give an hour long NFL films about Pittsburgh and its awesomeness, which was cool to see a little bit. But yeah, I love the NFL draft. I don't like the combine, but the draft is fun because you get to see the future of your franchise, and that's really fun.
Who's your team now? Now that the Rams are no longer in St. Louis,
Probably hurt some people's feelings here and say I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan.
that kind of tracks with you and your personality and lifestyle choices. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The diehard Chiefs fan, check Chiefs Twitter right before we logged on. They traded up for a corner after trading a Pro Bowl corner. So we traded Trent McDuffie, who was a Pro Bowler, to move up 3 spots for another corner. The logic doesn't make sense. The guy they got, the best corner in the draft, probably would have been there at the original pick at 9. Going to stay up late at 29. Do you remember the old days though? 15-minute rounds. The draft was all day. You know,
Friday,
on
and
a
it started
Saturday.
on Friday. It used to be, yeah,
Friday night kind of a newer thing. It used to be an all day Saturday, all 7
yeah.
rounds, 10 a.m. till 10 p.m.
God, it was long. But they're fun. They had a lot of content to fill. And I saw a lot more videos of the guys. I knew a lot more then. And what's really screwing me up now is like how NIL has really changed it because this guy was playing here one year and the next year he's playing over here. It's really like it's a minor league system now. College football is.
I mean, I could do a whole show just on why NAL is run college athletics, especially like you said, when you guys are like, well, he was here for 2 years, then here, then here, and then here. I get it, man. Those guys deserve their money too, especially what the university makes. But you don't get to watch it, especially as a college basketball fan. Like, well, when this guy's a freshman, he's going to be really solid in 2 years. If he's worth the shit, he's going to go catch a bag somewhere else.
Yeah, and that
It's fake up
yeah,
here.
and I mean if you look at it like your Cinderellas that happen in the NCAA tournament, they're the teams that have been together for 4 years. And they're like all play together so they know where they're going to be at all times. Like that's important in all sport aspects of sports. And yes, I understand going and getting your bag is very important too. I get that because you're what 1% of or 0.1% of college guys go on to the pros. Like you have to get your bag then. I get that, but winning's important too.
This show ever makes any money, Tyrell, we're going to throw a bag at St. Louis Pharmaceutical School to go win a national championship in
Let's
basketball.
go.
We're going to do just the most downtrodden team we can find. We're going to throw them a bag in the NIL just to go buy a national championship.
Damn right. I mean, what's better than the welcome to Wrexham stuff? Like you find a franchise that's downtrodden and you build them up and bring them. There is no better joy. What do we do every time we play NCAA football, the show, Madden? We always take the franchise that's down and bring them up.
Shout out to Mo State on college football last year. like they were the worst team. And yeah, I got to build up, the shout out to Springfield Mo. But I think that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be back Sunday night to kind of wrap up the Seattle series. For the mouth of the West and the former Cleveland Brown Tyrell Mock, I am Mitchell Jenkins, and we will see you Sunday.